In this one, we've got 6, okay, x squared plus 11x plus 3. So a number greater than 1 here. So remember the method now is that you put 6x in both brackets. Okay, and then when we look for what they multiply to give, remember it's not that n number there, you've got to multiply the first number there by that n number there. So 6 times 3 is 18. So we need a pair of numbers that multiply to give 18, add up to give 11. So 1 and 18, that's a pair there, that's not going to work. 2 and 9, okay, 2 times 9 is 18. I can get them to add up to give 11 if I make them both positive, yeah? So positive 2, positive 9, okay? But remember then, you know, if I leave it like this, it's wrong, because, you know, when you multiply the firsts there, you get 36x squared, and that's not what's in there. Okay, so we'll divide then by 6, yeah? Divide by that number there. Now, when you look at that first bracket, you can ask yourself, well, is 6 a factor here? And of course it isn't it? Because 6 doesn't divide into 2 perfectly. And 6, it isn't a factor here, isn't it? Because it doesn't divide into 9 perfectly. Okay. Now it's not a problem, because what we can do is look at what factor we've got here. Okay. Now if you notice, we've got a factor of 2, and here we've got a factor of 3. Okay. And lo and behold, 2 is a factor there, 3 is a factor there. Well, 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, so they'll cancel out that way. All right, so we want to divide by 6, okay? But when you divide by 6, you could do it indirectly. You could divide it by 6, you could divide it by 2 first, then divide by 3. Try it with any number. You know, if you've got 60, for instance, divide that by 6. Well, we all know it's 10, don't we? But 60 divided by 6, well, if you divided it by 2 first, you'd get 30. And then if you divided it by 3, you'd get 10, okay? You get the answer. You can do that with anyone. Okay, so 72, for instance, divide by 6. Well, we know the answer is 12. Okay, but if you did it, if you divided it by 2 first, 72 divided by 2 is 36, and then divided by 3, you get 12. Okay, so you can do it that way. So we'll divide the first bracket by 2. Okay, so that will become 3x. That become 1, and we'll divide the second bracket by 3. That will become 2x. And that will become 3. And if you multiply out, you'll see that you get the correct answer. Okay, and it's perfectly fine doing that. Okay, because you know you divided that by 2, divided that by 3, and 2 times 3, the factors there you've taken out. 2 times 3 is 6. So the 6's cancel.